Hi, my name is Nicholas.
Hi, my name is Virginia, and today we'll be talking to you about the electronic systems that our robot uses. We'll also be comparing it to how your body works.
All of the electricity in the robot comes from the battery. The batteries we use are 12-volt batteries and are also used in motorcycles. We have several batteries that we trade out and recharge in between uses. It's important to have fresh batteries when we compete so that all the parts of the robot get the amount of power that they need. The battery is like the food you eat to have energy.
The main breaker is the on or off switch of the robot. It controls whether electricity can flow into the robot, so it's important to turn it off while you're working on the electronics so you don't get shocked. Because it can control whether the robot turns off, it's essential to place it at the edge of our electrical boards every time. The main breaker is like your mouth, because when your mouth is open, you can eat food to gain energy for the rest of your body. But when your mouth is closed, you can't.
This is the power distribution panel, also known as the PDP. The PDP gives power to the rest of the robot and holds breakers. These breakers are kind of similar to the main breaker, but instead of turning on power on and off, they prevent too much power from going to the different parts of the robot. The PDP is like your heart because it spreads electricity through the robot, the same way your heart pumps blood around your body.
Wires usually aren't considered components like the rest of the electric system, but they're just as important. On our robot, we have a lot of different wires with different thicknesses and colors. The thickness of a wire is called its gauge. Wires in our robot usually travel in pairs. For example, power wires travel in pairs of red and black, and their gauge is dependent upon how much electricity they need to carry. This is like the blood vessels in your body, which are different sizes depending on how much blood is needed. We also have signal wires, which carry information from different pieces of the robot and come in many different colors. These are like the nerves in your body.
One of the most important parts of the robot is the Robo-Rio, which is the main computer of the robot. It takes information from the controller and tells the other pieces of the robot what to do. The Robo-Rio gets power from the PDP. It's important to make sure your Robo-Rio doesn't get any metal shavings in it. The Robo-Rio is the brain of the robot.
The Robo-Rio receives its instructions from the access point. The access point is also known as the radio or the router. The programmers for the driver's computer connects to the access point just like a Wi-Fi signal, and through that tells the robot what we want it to do. The access point is like your ears because it's how the robot hears instructions on what it's supposed to do. It's a little bit like your mouth, too, because it's how the robot can talk back to the computers.
The access point is very delicate, so it needs a special part just to receive power. This part is called the voltage regulator module, or VRM. The VRM takes power from the PDP and gives it to the access point or other smaller parts of the robot. The VRM is kind of like a pacemaker because it helps the PDPs work.
The parts of the robot that usually draw power from the PDP are the motor controllers. There are lots of different motor controllers for different motors, but they all have the same job. They tell the motors how fast to spin and when. The motors on the robot are just like the muscles in your body, so the motor controllers are like the nerves that tell them what to do.
The most important part of the robot is the RSL, which stands for Robot Safety Light, or the Robot Signal Light. This light is bright orange and tells you what the robot is doing. If it is off, the robot is off and is safe to work on the electronics. If it is on and solid, the robot is on but disabled, meaning it won't be moving soon. At this point, it's safe to work on the robot and go near it, but you shouldn't touch the electronics. If it's on and blinking, the robot is enabled and can move at any moment, so stay back. The RSL is like your face because it tells people what the robot is doing, the same way your face tells other people how you are feeling.
These are all the components your robot needs in order to be able to drive around. If you want it to be able to do more things, however, you can add other components to the electrical board.
Our electrical team also organizes our pneumatics. Pneumatics is basically using air to move a piston back and forth. If you've ever played Minecraft, it's exactly like that. Pistons can be different sizes depending on what we need them to do. Pistons are controlled by solenoids. Solenoids are controlled by the PCM, or Pneumatics Control Module. The PCM receives its power from the PDP and instructions from the Robo-Rio through signal wires. The PCM is like a big nerve because it controls how all the muscles under it work, just like how the PCM controls how all the solenoids and pistons behave.
Our robot also uses sensors to learn information about the world around it. Limit switches click when something presses on their finger, ultrasonic sensors tell us how far away we are from something, color sensors tell us what color something is, and cameras help the robot see and do things automatically. Sensors can also tell the robot what's happening to itself. Encoders and potentiometers tell us how far something's spun, and gyroscopes tell us how far we've turned. These sensors are like your five senses because your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin tell you information about what's happening to you and let you make decisions based on that, just like what happens
Thank
on
you
the
for
robot.
tuning in to our explanation of our robot's electrical systems. Our components are pretty specific, but if you're interested in learning more about electronics, there are a wide variety of tools available, from snap circuits to Arduinos to more. If you have any questions about what we talked about today, or if you just want to say hi, feel free to shoot us an email at frc5587@gmail.com.